Hello? Hello? Someone there? Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Wednesday night. The time is 7. However, I'm with our East Coast buddies. It is 10 o'clock for me. You are watching Toy Box Chronicles, the sexiest podcast on the internet. I am your lovely, gorgeous host, Chad Maddox, along with Alexander Thunderstorm. Mr. Storm, how are you doing this fine evening, sir?
I'm doing all right. It's just I don't have the hat from Commander Bly, so he was supposed to get that to me. So I guess I made a promise to Tommy I would wear it every episode until that thing actually backs on Hasbro Pulse. So we'll see. I'm waiting for my hat, Commander.
There's a hat.
Yeah, you didn't want. Obviously, you're not watching the toy chest. The
I
Starlight
was
toy chest
I
on
I
Mondays.
have been preoccupied purchasing up. I'm in a secret location right now. I
Well,
will go
not
back
secret
and
from
watch.
me. I know where you're at.
You know where I'm at for sure, eh? Um,
Uh,
Look, we have a fantastic show for you tonight. We're gonna cut to it. We thought pre-orders were done, and then they decided to tell us that pre-orders are not done. Also, there's a lot of things are brewing, and everyone loves stew, and so that's probably why you tune in. But hang tight, and if you haven't, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. We appreciate all 850,000 of you watching. We will be back in 2 and 2. And if you know what that is, Commander Bly, bonus points. And we are back. So, Mr. Storm, what have you been up to?
you know what? Just this week, man, just trying to get through everything. It's the thing I like about Wednesdays. They always say it's like hump day. It's in the middle of the week. It means that, one, we start preparing for Pixel Plastic Ink on Friday nights at 7 p.m. here. So make sure you guys are also putting that notification bell, not for Toy Box Chronicles, but also for Pixel Plastic Ink on Fridays. But looking forward, man. Had a great Sarlacc toy chest this week. If you're not watching that, it's the new hit toy show that comes on every other Monday at 5:30 on the Sarlacc Digest podcast channel. So we were talking about some Star Wars stuff that popped up, man. Some really good conversations this week. And then also, let me just say this right now. If you're not over there catching Sarlacc, if you're not watching Blitz transmissions, if you're not catching our buddies, the Purple Gang, do us a favor, hit those notification bells for our buddies in the Alliance. And I'm sure all our buddies from Toy Mercs Live, who has the hard task of starting Wednesday night live stream, they actually started at 5:30. So we thank them for that, brother.
But it's a good show. You got to hang out. You got to watch. It's unique because I definitely will tell you this. They definitely talk about a lot of topics, not a lot of toy podcasts talk about, which I think is fantastic. And we're gonna see more and more of that. Look, we're gonna get into some things that were announced. However,
let's hit that mailbag, man, because we want to make sure we're seeing what else.
I was gonna say. The mailbag's getting heavy, and I want to hit it up. And it looks like we have Meeks popping in. What is up, everyone? Welcome to you. And then AYOU, Oi, I'm assuming is what that means, Commander Bly. Yes. Or hey, I also you are out of a hat is what that stands for. Good evening, Darth Butcher. No offense, I was traveling, couldn't watch toy chess. That's actually one thing I love to watch on Mondays, because it's one thing I know I'm never invited to. I love it. Commander Bly just in the lab making these damn lat hats ready for some SKN, and I feel like this comment should go next, which is Tommy is the best hat maker in the business, but I guess Commander Bly is doing all the work.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like it, actually. Sounds like it, Dr. Brentley. Welcome in, my friend.
And then some more back and forth. Love the mailbag. Keep them coming. Also, more importantly, if you're on the replay crew, we do want to hear your comments. Make sure you're commenting and subscribing and all that other jazz. However,
let's get into it, man. And you know
this
what?
is
It's controversial. It's
this is
controversial, man. That's
this is
what it is.
this is like I don't even know what I feel anymore, and
Yeah.
I'm upset, but also like, ooh, this is exciting, but also like, what's going on here? So I guess we should just get into it, right?
Let's get into it, brother. Let's just
Yeah,
get into it.
let's kick us off. Why don't we tell everyone what we're talking about?
All right. Well, like I said again, we were early in the year. Somebody said definitive Spider-Man is coming out, and it was a Maximum Spider-Man. We all got it, shook up the internet. Everybody, there was people that was yay, there's people that were nay, but it was kind of going. And then when they got it, they were like, everybody was like collectively, no, it's not happening. And we were a tad bit disappointed. Paint sculpts, a couple of things weren't looking right. And just when we thought you couldn't up a Spider-Man, well, the guys that Maximum was supposed to compete with, SHFiguarts just upped the ante, and boy, did they really up the ante. Holy smack. If this doesn't smack Marvel Legends in the face, I don't know what is going to do that, brother. But wow.
I just want to point out, number one, I'm trying to figure out how to buy this, so I don't really know where to buy it. Number two, like if you look at this, what they're doing in the legs is awesome.
Yes.
They took the butterfly joints and added it to the legs.
Yes.
I don't think you could make it any more posable. And if you look at it, it actually doesn't really take away from the sculpt too much. I mean, it does in the sense of like, if you look at the picture that's on the left, it definitely takes away from it a little bit, but for the most part, come on.
Yeah, but this one is kind of like, remember we always say use that hold my beer, just hold my beer, my energy drink, my espresso, whatever it is that you need to hold, it's being held because SHFiguarts hit Marvel Legends in the face with this one, brother. I'm talking. If you look at just his overall body sense and the way he looks, look, they were saying that the Maximum Spider-Man, we were like, okay, this looks a little bit like Todd McFarlane's. We were wrong because they odds, eyes, and everything else on this character, fantastic, man. I'm like, wow, look at the pose on the upper one, where you're like, that just looks superior to everything else we've seen. In fact, actually, we just say this is a superior Spider-Man instead of.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, the way they engineered the knees solved what I hate the most about action figures.
Yes, absolutely. And like Commander Blythe said, this is an amazing Spider-Man, and it is. Look, just his overall build, he looks linky like Spider-Man should. Yet a little bit of bulk, like that he actually is a superpowered being. Yet his costume, again, I love all the grooves they've done for all of the articulation. This fits in extremely perfect. It looks flawless. Even at the upper, I guess the thigh hip kind of turns, you're more noticeable than on a Marvel Legends figure. Yet though, for posing, and like I said again, when you see this character posed up, it's completely different from that. You even go ahead and look, and even look, it comes with, and I'm talking about, man, this is like one of those things where like you walked in for a duel, somebody took off their white glove and slapped somebody in the face.
Like I look at this is the thing. Like if you look at the left, that pose on the left, it hides the butterfly joint on the hip.
It does.
And it's you're not going to get that anywhere else, right?
Yeah.
And if you have to compare it toy for toy, like this is almost about as good as you can get.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about when you say one up, it did one up, and then you look over here, Dr. Rich said, looks like Spidey's wearing a thong backwards. Other than that, looks great. It got to figure out a better way to articulate it.
So the only thing that I would do different here is I would take the articulation and I would add a version of soft good, like hard, flexible soft goods over it, so it just looked normal. But I think this is This is along the same vein. It's like a middle ground between SHF and Amazing Yamaguchi. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. This is what we're seeing in action figures right now is the same thing that we've seen in technology, where everyone's like, "Oh, I want it thinner. I want it thinner." Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
With action figures, it's like, "Oh, I want more poses. I want more poses." Um,
Exactly.
and the little secret to getting amazing poses in action figure photography is that you break the action figure and you can
Yeah.
pose it
True.
however you want. And some people just don't want to do that. But I think if the figure is good enough, you can drill holes in the back to hold it. You can break the legs and move them and pose them the way you want. But this is for not breaking it and for posing it. I mean, the ankle joints,
Yeah.
the butterfly joints in the legs that just disappear into itself, like the knees, that the fact that the knees are done behind so they're like a disc, and
Yeah.
then the upper thigh and the calf rotate on that knee.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Amazing, awesome. Marvel versus Capcom Spider-Man fig. Yeah, this is,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like even the eyes, like look at the eyes on this.
Yeah. Well, the thing also too is like even the webbing, because Maximum Spider-Man, which actually there's some slides with Maximum coming up, because this is actually SHFiguarts versus Maximum Spider-Man. It just everything about this looks like you can put this character in so many different poses and so many newer poses that you normally couldn't do with any other figure. And I think that for toy photographers, let's be honest, a lot of these guys are using Photoshop. So they'll be able to remove whatever lines they want to remove and make it look fluid. But this is still just like, the pose, like this jump position right here. That's awesome, man. If you
Mm.
can get that in like shots and everything, like I can see if you get like maybe a retro figured Rhino and just have
Mhm.
Spider-Man punching them out, you know, it looks
Mhm.
like it's something that 100% makes it right there, man. I'm like everything about this character, they've one upped. Like they looked at it. I don't know if they were already working on this before the Maximum Spider-Man thing was done, but they were like, how do we outperform this thing and blow it out the water? They just did. And I'll be honest with you, man. This figure, they said, all right, this figure is going at like 80 or 90 bucks. It's 100% worth it. It's 100% worth it.
Yeah, and I guess it's not. You can't pre-order it yet.
Not yet, no.
Because I know that you can get it, so you can get it on Tamashii Nations Amazon store. You can get it
Hmm.
on Big Bad Toy Store. You can actually order from Crunchyroll, which a lot of people don't know.
Hmm.
Um, and then you can get it from Entertainment Earth and GameStop. So this is gonna be wild, man. This is one that I actually have to get. This is
Yeah, this is on the list. There's
Yeah.
like, every year you put in like, which one is like, all right, and, we go through shifting. Like, is this the premier version of Spider-Man, or is this premier version of Batman or whatever? And you're like, okay, what gets this SH Figure Arts has already moved to figure of the year nomination at this point. It is like you can't put Maximum like this again. We got some other Maximum stuff on there, and there's another character that might make it to that list that we were talking about on Fridays, Pixel Plastic and Ink. But even there's a Spider Sense one that we're looking at right here that you can look at, and let's see, let's put it right up here. Look, this stuff, and then everybody talking about the Todd McFarlane pose. There's the classic Todd McFarlane pose right
and
there.
it's literally the pose, dude.
Yeah, like they've done it, and then we'll switch over and we'll go to the earlier offers this year. Came out. A lot of people have this in hand. It is still available on HasbroPulse.com. That's telling you something, actually, not a good thing.
Did
Uh,
they put this up?
yeah, it's up. I checked it about a couple hours ago. It said it was still in stock.
That's not good.
So yeah, Maximum Spider-Man. Now, this was the offering that Marvel Legends, the Hasbro team, came up with. And at the point, from looking at the photos and everything, this did kind of give those vibes, brother. You were like, all right, hey, I like some of the things. Again, it was controversial. Some people were like, no, it's way too much, and I'm not going to buy that. Might as well. And we heard people saying, hey, SH Figure Arts or some other, Mayfex, and then they were giving us a bunch of other ones, and then we're like, yeah, but if you're, just want something to pose and everything, well, by the time that packaging started coming out, a couple of things started controversially looking at, especially with the webbing and everything. Seems like
Game
Hasbro cut some corners, man.
Yeah.
And I think this became even though it was the first Maximum, it was not the most disappointing because it seems like Maximum Hulk is taking that over right now. So the
I mean,
Maximum team,
Maximum Hulk is just falling apart in packages. So
yeah, they need a win, man. And
yeah,
again, there's classic a couple of McFarlane poses. Looks a little it does look like McFarlane's Spider-Man, but getting this in real life, the complaints were that it doesn't hold up, the articulation's not as well, and it just didn't feel as premium as the pricing on it. And again, came up with a lot of things. I'm sure this SHFiguarts is coming with webbing. It comes with the spider sense as well as that. We don't know how many hands or articulations, but I'm pretty sure that SHFiguarts is going to come with a bunch of stuff as well.
yeah, I'm
They
trying to find.
tried. I don't think they did it too well. It was a shame, but this is one where, like I said, they're going to have to pick it up. But again, we were talking about this on Friday's show. I think they finally got it right. It took just to the third entry into the Maximum line, but we were talking about this on Friday, and this one, it was everybody was losing their shit over, bro.
Yeah,
This one came up for pre-order yesterday as well.
yeah. Did you get this?
Not yet, not yet. No, I was. I'll be honest with you. This one, I want to see it perform a little bit more. If I don't end up getting it, because again, I was early for the Maximum Spider-Man. I did not do the Maximum Hulk. I just didn't think there was enough in the Maximum Hulk for me to say, hey, couple of rockets, some other thing. It just didn't seem like it was really Maximum. And
Yeah.
then thank God I didn't purchase it. And while this one, I just want to, this one's a wait and see for me. I
Okay.
think he's a great character. I love all the aspects. Again, Rab pointed out on Friday night that this is the first dupe that we've seen since the Toy Biz era. So, it's
Look, I
intriguing.
think. Yeah, I mean, I think this is good. I'm excited about this one, but then SHFiguarts has potential to. I don't know that they every time if every time Marvel Legends drops something and then they come out and they're like, well, hold my beer. It's like, okay.
Well,
Um,
here's the thing too, and we were talking about this on one of our conference calls, and it has to be incredibly frustrating for the Hasbro that has the Marvel license, and then you see these import figures, and when something like this comes, where there's a Maximum Spider-Man, and then there's they were able to put out their version SHFiguarts. We've got to think that there's going to be a definitive Deadpool that's going to come out from them as well. It like that's got to be deflating, man, because you think, all right, we put the time and tooling and everything in, and then it comes up short, and then these guys come out of the water and blow it up, and it's like it pushes back to the Marvel Legends team, like, you guys got to step this up. Your articulation needs to get better. You need to start thinking about newer ideas. It's like, yeah, sure, Maximum Spider-Man looked great, but it didn't have all the technology that we've seen SHFiguarts doing. So if you're asking for premium prices, you're gonna have to give us premium actual articulation. We're gonna need all of the things that we get with accessories and everything else. Now, Maximum Deadpool is kind of winning on that, because when it comes to accessories, well, they drop that off in a buttload for us, bro. They give us like everything, like I said on Friday nights, all he's missing is a bazooka.
I think that's literally it, man. You get you get two heads, 5 sets of hands,
Mm-hmm.
five guns.
Yep. Yeah. So
Dynamite.
you got a stand for Duke to stand on, blades, knives. I'm saying a different head. Even some actual uh,
Chimichangas.
uh, yeah. Actually, he does have a chimichanga actually too.
Yeah.
Like, what was Rad was saying something that should have came with something else, was like a taco or something. It was
Yeah.
something
Tacos.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tacos.
You know.
Deadpool
But
for the
yeah.
win.
Yeah. Like this one right here. Also, if you're into toy photography, this is a toy photographer's dream right now in package. We got to see when it gets out of package, because hopefully they're going to step up some of their quality control issues, because that was the main thing that killed Spider-Man and also Hulk in this line. So
I
let's
just
hope that
wish.
they put a little extra for this Deadpool.
I just wish that these figures weren't so shiny.
Well, We know customizers will probably customize the things they need to do. Well, look, first of all, I think here's the thing with Marvel Legends. Marvel, Hasbro makes toys. SHFiguarts and some of these other companies are trying to make actual, like, I would say works of art a little differently. I think they look at it differently from the
Yeah.
imports compared to here. It's like, it's a toy. Let's do shiny up, like, wax on top of stuff and everything. And for them, they're like, no, what catches the eye? What makes the camera work better? And, Darth Moocher also puts up, he said, I was just about to comment on the shine.
But
Yeah, and the same thing with Marvel Legends.
Yeah, but classified series isn't as shiny as Legends.
No, some of them are. It depends on what characters you get. There are some, like I noticed a lot of Snake Eyes does have it. Judge, what's going on, sir? So I do notice that they, some of the Snake Eyes, some of the mask characters, the ninjas and everything have a little extra glow to them. But like some of the other for the classified line, like any character with a jacket or something, it seems like that's doled down a little bit. So I don't know if it's just because they're running into new plastic or because his characters manufactured a little different. I can't give you a great explanation on that, but I will say, yeah, I think that's it makes everything kind of, you have to go back and do extra work as a customizer itself to try to get those shots without that, or pose at a certain time of the night and everything, or the evening, where you can get that shine off if you're really doing outside photography. So it does make it like, I understand why people want to have the SHFiguarts, the Mayfexes, those, because it does remove it. It works better for toy photography. Yeah, cool except for the tariffs. Everything is cool except for the tariffs. I will give it that as a comment of the night right now. He's got it absolutely right. How much is that going to cost us?
There was something before we go to the next thing.
Yeah,
well, I don't know. I can't remember.
No.
Maybe they announced it or not. But if you watched Action Figure Frequencies, we talked about helmets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Hasbro just released 2 new helmets.
Yes. That was through the Fan Expo. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
No, we don't have slides of it.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the Fan Expo, which, by the way, I was on the subway today and I saw posters for this, and I was like, man.
Just by a week.
By a week, man. By 1 week. Look, the Star Wars released the Black Series Stormtrooper
yes,
electronic helmet, and then they also released the Wolverine Premium Roleplay Mask.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, that is a fantastic
actually
mask.
I would like to hear from Commander Bly and Darth Moocher. What were your thoughts on the Stormtrooper? Because again, I saw some of the they flipped it over, showed some of the electronics, they showed some of the weathering on that. Does that hold the standard for you Star Wars fans? Let us know. But from everything else from the Fan Expo, they dropped some stuff, man. And here's the thing: we were talking about this. They got rid of the 1027 event, so there won't be any more 107 or Hasbro Pulse convention. They'll just be doing this in person. So expect at New York Comic Con for a whole bunch of crap to drop in. And so I'm sure if there's another HasLab, it'll probably be announced at that end of the year. It won't be for Star Wars or GI Joe. I can't imagine what other line. Maybe I don't think Marvel Legends, and I don't know if they can do another Ghostbuster, but it's going to be something interesting. But and so do you guys cosplay? No, I don't cosplay, but Commander Bly cosplay. I know Mr. Maddox does. Cosplays as a billionaire every day.
Moocher does.
He does.
The Shore Trooper, which is kind of like a Stormtrooper, and he's got it right because I called it Stormtrooper, but it is a Shore Trooper. Okay. I mean, he wants Bly to make his.
Okay, all right, okay, all right. And Judge Dress said he does not cosplay. There you go.
Yeah. But look, I think we talked about it on Action Figure Frequencies.
We did.
I think the helmets are their own level of collecting, because I think that you can have a lot more on one shelf. And I think that there are, to have like a live replica of that, I think is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
This, however, Strong Guy,
Wow.
I am all about this figure.
Well, you should be, because the last time he popped in, you know what he popped in as, right? One
He
of your
was a
favorite
build
lines to
figure,
build a figure, one of your famous lines of all. They
and
calling this a
I have
deluxe
him.
figure. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
this
you
is.
do.
I'm into this, man.
Yeah, I like that it comes with the dumbbell. That's a pretty good effect. A couple of different heads and everything else like that. This, if you're into X Factor, I was back in the day when Larry Stroman was drawing that, and just a great book, great character. It kind of looks a little bit like Crosada and Stroman's version of it too, artwork wise. Maybe Portatio, but
Yeah, I
looks
do. I will
really cool.
say I do like the head on the Build-A-Figure a little bit better, but
Okay.
I haven't gotten to see this one up close. But I
Mhm.
do like the Build-A-Figure head better.
All right. Well, like I said again, this one is this one came up for pre-order. I believe it was today. I'm trying to see the graphic. I think it was either today or yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Um yeah, yesterday. But this was on Hasbro Pulse and some other retailer sites. I haven't heard anybody say it. It was hard to get this one. It's a deluxe figure, so it's $39.99. I don't expect this to be in the stores discounted, because the double pack Marvel Legends, yes. This one this one might, and this also complete. I give them credit. They're trying to complete these teams, so they're trying to complete X Factor. I know X Force is one they've been trying to do lately. Excalibur. I'm glad that they're actually completing these for those X-Men completists that want their entire team there. So this is a great figure, and the barbells just looks fantastic on it, man.
Yeah, I
You
love the
know.
barbell.
And Judge Dredd says he might wear one on a motorcycle for like cosplay. Actually, I saw a somebody did a Cobra Commander with the actual shiny face, and it was like blue. That's like, that's kind of cool, man. So, but yeah, Strong Guy, great looking character. It's still up on HasbroPulse.com, so go check it out. From there, okay, we got some good news and bad news. Great looking Mystique's coming our way. Retro Pack, which they've been doing a great job on these retro packs. Here's where it sucks. It's going to be a Target fall geek out exclusive. They're hit and misses whenever they do these big conventions. You may get the item, you may get shut out, you may get, it's just always been a problem with this. Great character. This one might make it to the shelves because a lot of times their retro pack versions come to the shelves, but you can't really count on it. But I thought this was a great looking character. It comes with a minimum couple of weapons, different head sculpt, set of hands, but it's worth it. You've got that fall geek out is starting August 29th, and it will go every Friday till October 3rd. So they haven't really told us the order of when it's coming out yet. I'm sure in the next day or two we'll actually have that pop up. Look, I think it's a great character. It's not going to be one I'll pre-order, but I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a great Mystique. I like it. It pays homage to the original one. I think this is good. Look, we're gonna get into this. Geek Out's
Yeah,
not as bad as the other one,
yeah,
uh, but I will say this isn't like I'm gonna pre-order figure for me. But
yeah.
if I Target and I see it, it's like I'm not gonna leave it there. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah,
So
the retro card backs I will give for Target. There's a good chance you can find this one on the shelf later on. Their only
I'm
problem, I see, Target has that one where it's the street date issues that people get in there. They're on the shelf. They won't let you purchase it, or you can't get it through Target.com, and there's a complaint. So it's like, but Target has subtly improved. It's been a rough start since they did the Cobra Island stuff years ago, and that was always a problem. They've improved every kind of like event. I just don't like the geek out kind of thing, because this seems like something like Todd McFarlane named this like fall geek. It sounds like something he would do. And then they were like, "Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do this." And I think these events are happening way too often. I just think they need to just put it up online in the stores and just like not have a major event. I don't know if that's helping their bottom line, but they're going to continue this. It doesn't really seem like it's fan centric to me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And there's always only like one good day that has good stuff.
Hmm.
So I mean, look, this is a cool figure.
Yeah.
It's not a must have, but it's also like as we would say on Pixel Plastic Inc. forget about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And from there, now here's the thing that this is a shame.
Pisses me off.
This is a shame because I made a vow early this year to never purchase any damn figure from Walmart ever again.
And then they released this. I'm
And
just
no, they released it, but if I don't see this on the shelf, I will not be buying at their event. You're not going to hold. You're not going to hold money, and we're running the crystal ball shit that we normally do. Is that I ordered crystal ball in March. They held my money all the way through March, and then we can't get it to you. Yeah, we made it. It's trapped in the system. We made a mistake, and now I can't find this damn character on the shelf and shit. And I'm like, you know what? Like, at least Target, and not until it ships, they will not hit your account. Walmart, this is gonna suck. Now, the good thing about this retro card back, we were at Walmart. We saw every damn character that we saw was retro card back, but we didn't see any kind of classifieds or anything. This might hit the stores. This is a great looking character. He's a classic version of how Mysterio looks. Fantastic. You can have him with the helmet, without the helmet, the mystifying effects and everything. This guy was a special effects artist in Hollywood, so he was doing all of his extra stuff here. Great character. This one, to me, other than Walmart, this is a pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, I love Mysterio. I think you know that. Walmart just doing Walmart things. Yeah, exactly. I have like a Chase variant in package. This is actually, funny enough, one of the only figures I have that I don't take out of package. So the gondolas are finally making it into our area okay.
All right. Yeah, like I said again, I like the character. I like the look. I like that. This is the one thing they've done with the retro packaging that I think they've upped it from the standard Marvel Legends line. Like, I had the retro pack Agent Venom, and they added way more articulation and head sculpts and hands and everything to that character. And it seems like they've kind of like re-upped on Mysterio. They've added a whole bunch of effects that anybody that, again, into toy photography or just wants them sitting on a shelf, this all looks fantastic with them, man.
I mean, it's great. The only thing that could make it cool is if they did a version of this where the helmet was clear and it was green inside. That'd be cool. But this is a great figure, man. This is definitely like a made figure. I would definitely buy this.
Yeah, this says it's going to hit whatever convention or con or whatever the crap they're calling it at Walmart, October 9th at 7 a.m. And I can tell you this, you better be up at 5:59 and they got your computer on, because this is on the West Coast here. It sucks. But you think about the East Coast, this is really going to suck. So, but great looking figure. Give them credit. I like the retro card backs. It's all kind of unique. I'm kind of glad they're coming back to a little bit of that as well. Makes it look like it deserves to be on a shelf. And they actually do hang on shelves a little better than the boxes, I will say. So
yeah, this is good.
Another Walmart one. Here's the thing where we were just talking about this. Saw the X-Men 97, like, wow, that's the Definitive Storm. And then the next week they came out and said, well, hot damn. They updated themselves. This is a great looking Storm. This is actually, I found out this is the Storm that was in the era of when she was married to the Black Panther. I don't know if they put wiring through the cape, but this figure looks awesome. It will be going on my shelf. This is even a Fall Geek Out. I'll probably be ordering that. And Commander Bly posted this, and he's absolutely right. Great pics. Whoever took these photos did a damn good job with this character, because he makes his character look a lot more premium than just a retro card back. And I like that lightning effect, Chet.
Dude, we were just talking about that dual pack, and I was like, yeah, I really want the Storm from that dual pack. And I think the Storm from the dual pack definitely has her look, but this is the one that I wanted.
If that face sculpt is even half as good as it is in these photographs, this is a great damn figure. The hair sculpted fantastically well. This one is like you got to buy it, see it if it even holds up well. And again, while it is still a little shiny, but I think that black nullifies a little bit of that shine, man.
Well, yeah, it absorbs the light. So
Again,
this is great though.
yeah. Problem though, fall geek out. So we don't know. It'll probably be the same week because they normally don't do like the X-Men releases one week after another. They normally release like it's just a wave of Marvel one week, and then it's McFarlane and NECA. So I'm pretty sure the Mystique and this character will both be up at the same time. I'm predicting that this character is probably the sellout character.
I think they'll both go up. They'll release all 50 of each, and then you won't be able to get it ever again.
And just like what was the Professor X from Savage Land, that was the major problem of the year. Then it was Gambit. So these things do sell out. There's a part of fandom that really does want these characters. So we're gonna see.
I just think this is probably outside of the VHS storm that I have.
Yeah.
I think this is probably my next favorite, and is one that I have to get somehow. So
yeah. Like I said again, I think the black and gold looks fantastic. If that cape is even halfway as good as like this, is going to look really nice on a shelf somewhere. So most definitely, this is a pickup for me too, man. And like, wow, like they are really cutting that in, man. From there, got a couple of picks that we saw, and last week a lot of people were like, and Commander Bly just said it, and he said it true. It's a main figure. It is. It's a main figure.
This,
what can I say, man? They've done it 2 weeks in a row. They released the Storm one week. It was like, yeah, that's a great looking Storm, man. And then the next week they hit another Storm. You're like, oh shit, that's the definitive Storm. Well, they did it this week. A couple of weeks ago, they said, hey, we're going to release the retro cardback version. It was a little bit higher than normal, than the standard $24.99. It was a couple of dollars more. And then it sold out immediately, the retro cardback version on Hasbro Pulse. You can still get that on Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store. But we were like, man, okay, I'm going to pay a couple of bucks extra for it. Nah, it's probably not worth it. We'll see if it pops up anywhere. Then they snapped this at Fan Expo, and hold on. I was like, I actually don't need that Dr. Doom, because they say the Superior Doom. No, they gave us an Emperor Doom, and hot damn, this character looks fantastic, bro.
Yeah, Doom is one of my all-time favorites.
Yes.
And I was able to get the retro Doom, and then this thing pops up at the expo, and I'm just like,
yeah, bro, I don't know what to say about this. This is one where it's like, wow, I know, like, we were talking about, like, Fantastic Four, how many of these variants would we see? They've been very kind of quiet on the Fantastic Four front. But when it came to Dr. Doom, when they retro card back, okay, they're getting that ready for Doomsday and everything. I did not expect a Emperor Doom, and I know there's a couple of other variants that they could do for Doom. And wow, man, this one, I look at I think the Cabal one was a good one.
That's one of my favorite Dooms, and I own that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny enough about that Cabal one too, I bought that.
Yeah.
And because I wanted Doom, and I have not taken the other two figures out of the plastic.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Bushwhacker with the Punisher. It's just to throw it in your box and shit. If you find a customizer that needs it, hey man, you can have it.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. So the Cabal, Commander Bly, the Robert Downey Jr. figure looks good. Yeah, I agree. I will say this though, in that Cabal pack,
yeah,
Taskmaster looks really good. But I just wanted the Doom figure. That's all I cared about.
I think I'm gonna use the term that was coined by Dark Moocher: hostage packs.
Yeah,
that's what he said. Well, and this one, look, I thought the retro card back, yeah, it looked great, come with a book and everything. Was it worth over $24.99 just for a book and a couple of things? I thought, okay, they're kind of pushing it, and it was a retro card back. This Emperor Doom, yeah, I'm like, yeah, when he comes up for order, and I'm definitely gonna want. Now, if you do still want, again, like we mentioned earlier, the retro card back, it is sold out at Hasbro Pulse, but there are a couple other retailers that does have this. I don't know where this Emperor Doom, if they make this a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, they are crazy. They need to put this on Amazon and as many fan channels as possible. because this character, especially heading up to next year when Doomsday's coming out for Avengers, this is probably going to be one of the definitive characters you're going to want to get, man.
What do you think the price is on this?
This one I can't see it being $24.99. If it is, that's great. I think this is probably like the other version of Doom. I think it was what, $27.99 they were charging for the retro part back.
I think this is strongman status. I think this is
34, 39. I think with strongman you gave him a huge set of like, barbells or pull-up bar to give him. But this, I don't know, a couple extra hands and everything. I think they would be treading a little high on the water for $39.99 for that.
What's shown in this box? Is it literally just okay? So you get
a couple of hands and some
one more
effects.
Yeah, so you get one more pair of hands and then like 2 effects. Yeah, it might be 27.
They might be asking a little much for that, bro. And that's why I'm like, I don't know. I think it's 27. Possibly this may be the one. Every now and then we start talking about the $30 figure. This might be $29.99. This might be the one they test at that price range. I think still at 29 it's still a good price.
It looks like it's a figure of a series, though.
It does. Kind of like remember the Strange Tale series?
Oh yeah.
Which I think that character, this Emperor Doom, fits in well with that pre-established line as well, man. With Brother Voodoo and a couple of like Dracula and a bunch of those characters. I think this fits in extremely well. And look, they are going to get as many Doom scopes out there. So I know there's a couple of other versions of Doom. And I know you could alternate and come with one where his mask is cracked. You can see some of his original face. I would not be surprised if this is we probably got about 3 or 4 more Dooms before next year. Because I think there's no higher interest point than now for those characters,
Yeah, this is right. This is right in the line with where I hope. Look, $27 I could see, 29 I could see, above 29 I can't see it.
Yeah.
But I just think that they didn't say anything like pre-order day wise. I just think it's part of some kind of series.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Like they'll get me if there's a Build-A-Figure, because I bought Strange Tales for the Build-A-Figure and I haven't opened any of those figures.
Yeah, and actually, those are a bunch of those are showing up at Ross. Not our Ross in Southern California. If you live in Southern California, let me put a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen: you won't find jack crap. But if you're in any other part of the nation, everyone else's Ross looks good.
I did tell you that I had a friend that found a bunch of crystal balls at Ross.
That's what you said, but that was in Southern California. That's the only person we've ever heard. And he didn't even give us documented proof of that. Other than so, you gotta take pictures. If you're out there, you see it in the wild and everything, take a picture, send it over to us. We'll put it up. We'll send it over to our buddies over at plasticnews.com and they can send it.
Also, we're still on the lookout for anybody listening. We have to get Mr. Storm his crystal ball. So just let us know.
I've got the Great Scott Solo looking for it now. It said Doom is cool if you're into the Team Who Vader, I guess.
But here's the problem is that we all know that wouldn't be a fair fight and Vader would lose. So
and it said Ross never had shit. Thank you. Well, that's on the East Coast. He must here. Yeah, exactly. He must commute out here too much because, man, I think we went like 45 minutes away. We went to every Ross, every Walmart, everything. Now, the one thing I will say that we did see in a while that we normally wouldn't see here in Southern California. We saw the Walmart display case for Mattel and Hasbro, and that was kind of cool. We're going to put pictures on the week. We'll also cut a little video for Friday night's Pistol Plastic Inc. to see that in a while because we had to drive 45 minutes away to go to a Walmart to see that. And the Walmart staff, God bless them. They tried their best, but they didn't do a really good job of stocking that as well. It was kind of a little bit of a mess, but it was cool to see that display smack dab in the store because we tried to find the one for the Hot Wheels. Couldn't find that. Yeah, my Ross only has and another solid Southern California person. So, yeah, and if you're from Southern California, you know this. And actually, Judge Dredge chiming in. No retail stores is anything where I live. Well, all right, this must be all over the nation. So we must live in the vortex of crap right here because it's definitely and yeah, the displays are getting here. Oh, not fully stocked though. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so
the arts.
that's one thing. Yeah, that's one thing I'll say is the one that we saw at Walmart, which was crazy, by the way, wasn't
It
fully
was.
stocked, but they had 3 boxed GI Joe or Cobra Stingers.
They did, yeah, they did have that actually. And
I
I had
haven't seen that. I haven't seen that in so long.
You know what? I'm also starting to see that some of those Walmart distingers are going for $34.99. I saw this on
I
a
know,
couple of Instagram pages. There, I was like, "What the shit? I didn't see it."
and I
That
will
would
tell you,
probably make me buy a second one, actually.
I was just gonna say, I'll tell you this: if we're in a Walmart and I see a Stinger
Yeah,
for $39, that is
yeah,
going home as well.
definitely. And Judge Red lets us know he lives in Texas, so that's that's the West Coast, middle of the United States, the East Coast. So you retailers, you got to do a little bit more. You got to do a little better. And like I said, Pacific Northwest. So yep, there you go. Well, actually, I'm sorry, the Northwest. And actually, Judge Red's letting us know the 3 targets and 2 more, nothing ever. I think we went to where we go. Like I,
We went.
I think
We
we
went to
did
6 Walmart.
yeah, 6 Walmarts, a crap load of Targets, um, and I think we only had 10 minutes of footage.
Yeah,
That's how bad it was. But I will say that display case, the one thing they did again, bless the people at Walmart. The Mattel WWE figures. Oh, that was fantastic. That side of the display and Hot Wheels for Mattel, they had their shit together on that because
that was really good.
wow, they had a lot. They had like a Diamond Dallas Page, which we personally know Diamond, and every time I see it was guy they posed him in with the diamond cutter and everything. So just
It was,
knowing
and
him
it
in
was
real life, it looks great to see him on the 3-dimensional version.
It was such a good figure. We were like, where is this figure here? Hunting's been dead here for years and they don't do displays. Yeah, that's the problem is like I think that people need to start doing more of that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said again when we were talking about this the other day, missing the the Toys R Us and KBs and how really Target was supposed to step in and do that, but they've never quite done it. And I just don't think it's Walmart and Target are getting the job done. I would like to see somebody, I think like Toys R Us or a competitor like that could survive out here if they took the right approach to it. I think it could do well. It's just you're going to need deep pockets to do it, unfortunately. And it's like, yeah, no GI Joe, no Motu, no wrestling. Yeah, the judge, we know the same thing out here. But again, so we saw Emperor Doom. We're going to our last slide of the night, and here's the thing: this is starting to become a little bit of an enigma, and I was shocked about this. I thought this was going to be a little bit more readily available, the Mustafar set, but unfortunately, it seems like that San Diego Comic Con, and if you didn't get those pre-orders, this is becoming a hard set to track down. Very fantastic set. We've seen this in person. Awesome box display, awesome version of all the characters. But the good thing is now you're not going to get everything of the Mustafar set, but they did release Obi-Wan and Anakin. Now they don't have the special effects with the lightsabers. There's no actual trams or anything else like that, but they do come with those 2 characters. They're sculpted extremely well, and the face sculpts on both of these characters are fantastic. You're not going to be able to totally, you're going to make your own display and everything, but it's worth picking up these, man.
Yeah,
And
these I agree with Commander Bly about this. These
mhm.
are really good,
Yeah,
like really good single pack figs.
yeah, and like I said, we saw the Mustaverse set, but we were like everything from GI Joe to Transformers. Like they had really just murdered our pocketbooks at San Diego Comic Con, and I was like, I don't even know if I have the room to display for the Mustaverse set. But I did pre-order both Anakin and Obi-Wan because I think these are the definitive versions of these in the Black series. I love Vintage collection, but I like the Black series, especially when they've done it right. And these I don't think you're going to see pop up at retail as often. So I really wanted these characters, man. Only buy
Yeah,
Jazzware Star Wars vehicles. Yes, we now that's the one thing out here Judge, that we do see a lot is we see them all the time through our stores. There was even a couple of prices. They had the Ghost. They had a bunch of they had Ahsoka's Starfighter out there. They had a bunch of different vehicles. So that's the one thing, and I'll say they do a good job of stocking with the Jazzware mini vehicles. Those are fantastic out here for us too. A lot of our Rosses carry those too, which is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you want the definitive Obi-Wan, if you want definitive Anakin Skywalker, and remember they're next year, they've got some anniversary stuff coming up in the next couple of years, so they're going to really start pushing into a lot of these characters. These need to be an A-figure list and should stay on the pegs like Vader and Amando. You're absolutely right. I think this one, especially since the Mustafar set is becoming a thing so hard to get, I think they do need to have you want to have a Darth Vader constantly, Mando, Grogu. You want to make sure that you have Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Anakin, Obi-Wan. You want to make sure some of these icon characters of the Star Wars franchise is readily available for people to buy, because I do think you get casual people that remember the films and I've seen that on some guys when the days when I was going to office, they had Star Wars figures randomly on somebody that didn't collect figures. They would have a character sitting on the shelf, R2D2 or something. So I think Commander Bly is definitely right with that, man. They definitely need to have these really available. And
yeah, they'll
hey,
no matter what, man.
if you're still, I was able to go on Hasbro Pulse a little earlier tonight. They still had these characters available. I think this is wise, because I think the Mustafar set is kind of a point of contention with some fans. They're a little upset about that. That hey,
They're
we
still,
can't find this set.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. They're still there, so you're good.
Yeah. All right. So from there, man, so look, I have to say that everything was great with the Fan Expo, and you're going to start seeing more of this. Get your bucks ready, because a lot of this stuff is going to pop up at the New York Comic Con in October. So they're going to make a steady amount of more. If you're not into hey, you know what? I don't think anything's coming out here. I'm thinking they're saving all of their biggest announcements since they got rid of 1027 for that event, and they stated that they're going to do that, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
get ready for it.
I think New York Comic Con is becoming a very competitive convention to go to outside of San Diego Comic Con. And
Absolutely.
it's if you don't have to pay to put on the convention, but you can go to it and you get more eyes on it, then why wouldn't you do that? And I think that's what they're doing with New York Comic Con. And look, it'll pay off. I think it'll be good.
Here's the thing, the reason why I think that statement actually rings true. Because on Deadline, and I was also checking plasticnews.com and a bunch of other places, they were throwing up the New York Comic Con lineup, and they all had from all the major news sources who was attending, what was attending. I only see that with San Diego Comic Con. So they've gotten into the modern mainstream kind of thought process as well. That's when you can tell an event is crossed over, is when you see again Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, plasticnews.com, when they're starting to report that stuff, starting to get mainstream at that point. So good job, whoever the PR person over at New York Comic Con. But you know what? Speaking of cons, we got some coming up, and we're going to hit the old trusty upcoming events, and we want to make sure that you guys know where some of our team will be. So you look right here, and this is actually our good buddies over at plasticnews.com. Is powered by Plastic News. You'll see that on a lot of our things. Also on our new overlay. Actually, there are partners over at plasticnews.com. Get all your news over at plasticnews.com.
And we'd like to point out
that
Steve is still tired, and we told him it's news, not new. So we'll have to update that later.
Well, hey, man, we've gotten down from 10 mistakes to 1, man. Let's give him a break for a change. My man's doing day and night since BJ left and everything. He's been killing, or DJ. I'm sorry, DJ left. He's been killing himself. So Steve, I love you, brother. Keep doing the work you keep doing. September 26th through the 28th, we will be here in Los Angeles, California, at the LA Comic Con, and that's going to be at the Los Angeles Convention Center. You can catch us there. We're going to have, yeah, Commander Black. We're going to have, some actual exclusive stuff there. The premiere of the Potbelly Panda Crew is going to be there. If you haven't seen that, head over to the social on Instagram, Potbelly Panda Crew, and check that out. And we'll be having some images of that coming up. And it's a designer toy line. And it's, if you know anybody is into that, they're going to want to have it. We're also going to have our partners over at Odd Frog Entertainment. Bandito will be live and present. That will be out in 2026, the first part of it. So, if you want to see it up in front, and you actually want to put your more pre-orders in, if you decide, hey, man, I need actually 2 Banditos, because you can actually customize the Bandito, and it can have a whole plethora of how it looks. It just doesn't look like one card. You can make it look like almost 20. So that's the best part about that. And we will also have our partner over at Advent Comics, Tony. He will be having his some exclusive books there. Southside with his character Dolt Malone will be there. So we're looking forward to that event. And then from there, that's the 26th to the 28th in Los Angeles, California, or at the same weekend, which kind of sucks because we love the Toy Atlanta and Joe Atlanta events. We just, had to pick a different one this year. But our buddy Marcelo at Uru Toys will be holding it down at Joe Atlanta 2025 at the Gas South Convention Center in Duluth, Georgia, from the 26th to 28th. Now, I can tell you this one aspect about LA Comic-Con. We will be running live at LA Comic-Con. So you're going to have Good Morning Toy Box will actually premiere at that one. You've seen our very first episode where we're actually be running another one live from the convention floor. And also throughout the new day, we'll have a couple other things on the Shadow News Network. We have our buddies over at Sarlacc Digest podcast pop up as well. They're going to pop in and do some casting with us directly from the convention floor. And if you're there at Joe Atlanta, say hi to Marcelo and Uru Toys. You can see the Nightwolf. Beautiful vehicle right there. Then October 9th through the 12th, New York Comic-Con. And I would say probably, Chet, this is probably the biggest Comic-Con at the end of the year. And it's a good one to go to if you're in the New York area. It's a good one to stop in. All the major toy, comics, and, entertainment companies. They have a lot of guests that'll be popping up. That'll be on that weekend of October 9th through the 12th. That is probably one of the better shows, wouldn't you say, Chet?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you just look at, who, in the news, who's doing what on New York Comic-Con, when it is, who's going to be showing, things like that. I think this kind of kicks off ish kind of like holiday conventions. But everyone I've heard that's gone to New York Comic-Con really loves it. I've unfortunately never been, and would want to go, but we're a lot of investment happening for LA Comic-Con for us this year. So,
well, I guess Judge Red will be happening for a couple of those, so that's good to hear. And also too, not just us who have forgot, our main man Meeks will be at LA Comic-Con with us. So yes, the Jackson 5 will be there. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, it was the Jacksons because I think Randy's showing up this year too. That little son of a bitch. So, got a lot of interesting things going on. But one thing we want to tell everybody, our partners over at plasticnews.com, get all your information over at plasticnews.com. You can go over there and see all kind of many great articles and keep you updated. And guess what? If you can't pop into our YouTube streams and you're out somewhere and can't get a hold of anything, you can actually watch us live over there as well. We're on a multitude of different things, but we'd much rather have you over here on YouTube. But hey, love everybody that's popping in through all of our other networks. Thank you for popping in.
And hey, we're working on trying to get the Wednesday Night Cruise podcast up live on plasticnews.com. So
I know. Hey, here's the one thing too that's interesting. It's like I know we're running out of time and we're gonna send everybody over there, but guess what? The best part is you don't even have to leave our cast to actually pop over to the Sarlacc Digest podcast, right, Chet?
Yeah, you just hang out. You just hang out. You don't do anything. You just wait and try to figure out, what should I do next? But yeah, we like to send you over there. I don't know. What do I usually reference?
Well, we normally say is like you can go over to a galaxy far, far away, but you don't have to move. You just pop over
Mhm.
there.
You could get beamed up, right?
Hmm.
That's
That
one.
is that is true.
That is for sure one. Um, let me see. Yeah, so I mean, hang tight. Any final thoughts on these pre-orders or anything before we call it a night?
Hey, yeah, don't get overwhelmed with it. And for our replay crew, tell a friend. It's a tell a friend week. Get somebody else that you know that's in this stuff. Tell them to watch the show and catch us on Friday nights on Pixel Classic Inc. Same time, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll all be here. And Mr. Maddox will still be up in the upper north, having how's the food and everything up there? Pretty great, brother.
Oh man, it's fantastic, man.
There you go.
It's been a blasty blast. Hey, Canada actually isn't really as bad as everyone says it is, I guess.
You keep those
Um,
doors open, in the middle of the night, no keys.
no keys, middle of the
All
night.
right. There you go.
Uh, I keep, you just leave everything. Yeah, I mean, you don't really have to do any work.
All right, brother. Well, like I said again, be safe. I will catch you on Friday, and everyone out there in TV land. Mr. Maddox, end the show like you normally do.
That's right. We want to thank you all for hanging out. And as always, we'd like to remind you to keep chasing that plastic dragon, but don't tell your significant other because it just won't be good. Until Friday, we'll see you. Stay sexy.